Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are finally going to be doing my Best of Beauty 2019. So my standout go-to products of the year. Of course, this was very difficult for me because I had to really narrow it down to a minimum amount of products in each category. Of course, I have so many favorites and so many things that I talked about this year, but I can't talk about them all because then, you know, it's not really a Best of Beauty technically. But I really tried to narrow it down and not have an overwhelming amount of products for you guys in each category, because I know in like some of my previous Best of Beauty videos, I think I did too many products, so I tried my best today. But that's not to say that this video is not going to be super long, because it is. So definitely get cozy, grab a snack, grab a meal, grab some wine, because we're still going to be here for a little bit, even though I have a minimum amount of products. You get me. So basically, if I had to get rid of all the makeup in my collection and just keep these products and use them for the rest of my life, I would be happy. Also, for those of you who don't follow me on any of my social medias, you definitely should, but Hector and I got engaged. I'm so happy. I can't believe it, honestly. Like, he's not my boyfriend anymore. He's my fiance, soon to be husband, which is just so crazy. So he did it on New Year's Eve, right when the ball dropped. So technically New Year's Day. So we started off the new year engaged, which I'm so happy about. So I'm going to be doing a chit chat get ready with me with some updates, because I'm going to tell you guys about the proposal, our wedding plans, honeymoon plans. I'm also getting LASIK eye surgery, so I will update you guys on that and how that goes, which I'm very excited to be able to see and not depend on contacts and glasses, hopefully not for anytime soon. But lots of updates so far in 2020, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, we are very excited and we appreciate all of your sweet words and congratulations and everything, so thank you guys so much. So anyways, I'm gonna save all that chattiness for the update video that I will be doing very soon, so stay tuned for that. But today we're talking about my favorite products of the year, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. So for those of you who have been with me for the past couple of years, you know how it goes. I like to start off with kind of the way in which I would do my makeup. That way I can keep all the products nice and organized. So we are starting off with brow products. I also wanted to mention I do have some favorites that kind of rolled over from 2018 because, you know, they truly were my favorites this year. So we're talking about them again because they're great products, and this is one of them. So this is the Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil. Now they do have another brow pencil, but you have to get the one that says Precision Brow Pencil. This one right here, it is incredible. I'm in the shade Bangin' Brunette. I always have backups of this pencil because it's that good. This is the best brow pencil I have ever used in my entire life. I have a lot of favorite brow pencils and there's a lot of really great ones at the drugstore, but I always go back to this one for some reason. I don't know, there's just something about it that I feel like every time my brows come out flawless as they can get, and they're just as even as possible. It's just the easiest brow pencil to work with and I'm just obsessed. They have a lot of great colors as well, which is what I love, and comes with a spoolie. The tip is actually more of like a rounded tip. If you can see, it's not like really pointy, but I feel like that's why I love it so much, because I don't know, it's just different and I just love it. So yeah, this is just great brow pencil. I use it to outline my brows, and sometimes I will like fill in the outer part of my brows, and it's just perfect. So this is the bomb diggity. Next up, I have a pomade, which is specifically called e.l.f.'s Brow and Liner Cream. This one's in the shade Espresso. Again, pomades, I feel like they're very standard, very traditional, but I really love this one and it's so affordable. Like, it's literally like under $5 and I love everything about it. This is creamy, easy to work with. It doesn't dry out on me super quickly and it lasts all day on my brows. So I feel like brow products can be kind of boring, but this one is just so good and it's so affordable. So it's so easy, you know what I mean? So this, not much to it, it's just a pomade, but it's great and I definitely recommend it. So I'm actually wearing almost all these products today on my face if you're curious. And then speaking of e.l.f., I have their Wow Brow Tinted Brow Gel. So if you guys are familiar with the Milk Makeup little, what is specifically is this called? Milk Makeup Cush Fiber Brow Gel. This e.l.f. one is honestly the same exact thing. This is an exact dupe. Has that really, really tiny little spoolie, which is perfect for your brows. Your brows will last all day through sweating, crying, anything, and it is just the most amazing brow gel. It has like the perfect tip to the point where it's not too small, it's not too big. So I'm either using this or I'm still using my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. The NYX one has a little bit of a bigger wand, so if you like a bigger wand, definitely get that one. But if you want something smaller that's gonna really like fluff up your brows and make them last all day, definitely get this one. And I'm in the shade, I believe, yeah, Black, which is actually a super dark brown. It's not like black, it's not gonna make your brows look crazy. So if you have darker hair, definitely get the black one. It's so amazing. It's like the best formula and it's affordable. So like, why would you not get it? Lots of drugstore products in today's video, by the way, not really intentionally. I just always find myself going to drugstore makeup products just because, like, I don't know, it's just kind of what stands out to me the most. I feel like the drugstore has been killing it for years, and they just get better and better each year, where I feel like you really don't have to spend a lot of money on makeup nowadays. Honestly, truly. Next up, I have some lashes for you guys. So I only have one pair just because I have done a video on like my top 10 favorite go-to lashes, but I wanted to mention the ones that I use almost every single week, that I have repurchased, that I pretty much used, I feel like 80% of the time, not just on my videos, but just like in 2019 in general, on camera, off camera. So these are the Kiss 01 lashes. They just look like this. They truly are the definition of lash extensions. So you guys know I love my Salon Perfect 614 lashes, but these are a little bit longer, wispier, and a little bit wider, so they fit my eyes perfectly. And I still like the 614s, but I like these more. I just feel like they complement my eyes better. And they have that invisible band, so they're super easy to apply. And I'm still obviously using my Kiss lash glue. So this product I've been using probably since like 2015. So almost 5 years that I've been using this lash glue with these lashes and with any lashes. It's incredible. Every time I wear these, I get compliments on my lashes. People think I have lash extensions, and I have to tell them, girl, they're from Walmart. They're like $9, and you get so many pairs. You can also find these at Ulta as well, but definitely get your hands on these. I think Kiss and Salon Perfect are the two best brands at the drugstore because they have lashes like this. They have ones that are a little bit more dramatic, more natural. So definitely a huge variety depending on the type of lashes that you like. But I love these on an everyday basis just because they're so fluffy and they're perfect. So these are it. Next up, I have some eyeshadows that I wanted to mention. So this was also very hard for me because I have like 1,000,001 favorite eyeshadow palettes, but the two brands that really stood out to me the most in 2019 are for sure Colourpop. This is just one of my favorite palettes from them, but honestly, I love mostly all of their eyeshadows. Like, I've never had any issues. I love the collabs that they do. I love the cute little monochromatic palettes that they came out with. Like, their eyeshadow formula is so good and it's so affordable, and they pretty much have an eyeshadow palette, I feel like, for everyone depending on your needs. But this is a collab that they did with I Love Sarai, which is Karen. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but this is one of my favorite palettes just because of the colors in here. They put so much effort into this palette, and I feel like the colors are really well thought out. Like, you can create a lot of looks with it, and I just love everything about this. So I have done quite a few looks with this palette. It's great. It's really thin. It comes with a mirror, so it's travel friendly, and I love it. I don't really like to do swatches, to be honest, anymore, because swatches don't really tell the full potential of the eyeshadows. You really have to put them on your eyes to see what I'm talking about. They're just a very buttery, creamy formula. Like, see, these swatches don't do the colors justice. I mean, you could definitely see them there, but they are beautiful on the eyes. They really build up nicely. They blend really beautifully. So this is just one of many. I just love Colourpop shadows in general. So that palette I love. And then also Focallure Beauty. I cannot believe that more people don't mention this brand, but this palette is one of my favorites. This is their Sunrise palette, which is a dupe for the Huda Beauty palette, their original one. But oh, I love this. It's just a bunch of like pinky warm tones, and this is such a great everyday palette, especially if you like these kind of warm tone shades. So I mean, the glitters in here are incredible, so buttery, and these eyeshadows are also really great as well. And my favorite thing about Focallure is, look at that, like, absolutely incredible. My favorite thing about Focallure is the fact that they do have a lot of dupes also for high-end eyeshadow palettes. So if you're on a budget, or if you just don't want to spend a lot of money on eyeshadows, because honestly nowadays I feel like you just don't really need to, they're a really great brand for that. So I feel like they're kind of known for dupes, which is amazing because who doesn't like to save money? And then their Endless Possibilities palette I also really like, just because of the pops and color in here, and I feel like you could create a lot of different neutral and bold looks with this palette. So you can just see the colors honestly kind of remind me of the Jaclyn Hill palette a little bit, but a little bit different. But yeah, really great go-to palette. So Colourpop, Focallure Beauty definitely take the win for me in 2019. Speaking of Colourpop, I had to shout out their BFF Cream Gel Liners. These are my absolute favorites. If you guys watch any of my makeup tutorials, I pretty much use a different colored liner in almost every tutorial. I love applying these right on my waterline. It just really adds that really fun pop of color without being too overwhelming. Such a wearable way to wear color, because you guys know I love neutral tones. Everybody always says, like, stop doing the same makeup look, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help myself, but this is just a fun way to just like switch it up a little bit without being too over the top. So they have so many colors. These are just like a few of the ones that I really like. They're really neon, very bright, they're long wearing, Very creamy formula, and I mean, I'll insert pictures of what some of these look like on my eyes, but basically, you know, each color is different. And the cool thing about this is most of the colors, that the way that they look in the packaging is what you're gonna get on your waterline, which is just so pretty. It just makes your eyes pop, and it just makes your look overall stand out more, which I really like. So I don't really have like a favorite from them. I love all of the colors. I've tried every single one of them. Oh, I just dropped one. I've tried every single one of them, and they're all really amazing. It really just depends on the kind of look that I'm doing. I switch it up all the time, but yeah, these are great. Definitely check them out, you guys. They're amazing. Sorry, someone is texting me and being rude. My favorite mascara of 2019 was definitely the Colourpop BFF mascara. I love everything about this. I have repurchased this myself, and I love the brown formula that they have. So the brown one is called Brownie Points, and then the black one, I believe it's called Blackout. It's just like a black mascara, but I love this for my top and my bottom lashes, especially the bottom ones. Even though the wand is pretty chunky and big, it still is really easy to apply lower lash mascara. Your lashes are going to look so long. This is a very long lasting formula. It doesn't clump, it doesn't flake, and they have also a lot of different colors in this formula as well. So if you're into colored mascaras, they got you covered. So yeah, mine is like completely faded. Like you can't even see the name on it because I use it so much, and it's just like my go-to mascara. I use it all the time. This is probably the best mascara that I have in my collection because it does what it says. It's volumizing, lengthening. It's great. I know for sure this is an old favorite from last year, but I had to mention it again because it's just that good, and I have used so many different eyeliners for my winged liner this year, and I always go back to this one. Like I repurchase it, and I truly feel like this is the best liquid liner. So this is the Covergirl Get In Line liquid liner in the shade Major Matte Black number 320. If you haven't tried this, what are you doing? Because it's really the most, not just black eyeliner that I've ever tried, but it's matte. So when it dries down, it's completely matte, and I think it looks so good if you're doing like a dramatic cat eye, or if you're doing very dramatic eyeshadow look and you need some winged liner. This is it. And I don't know if you guys can really tell, but the actual like packaging of it sort of is like a contour shape, so it fits into your hand perfectly for when you're doing your wing. It just makes it so easy, and I struggle with winged liner, but with this I feel like I can do it very, very quickly, and it always looks good every single time. And then with the really tiny little brush applicator, you can get a really sharp wing, which is like my favorite thing ever. So I had to mention this again. If you're into liquid liner, you gotta get this because it's matte, it's black, it's easy, it's affordable. It's great. Okay, we are moving right along. I feel like I'm talking so much about the products. I know I'm gonna have to edit like 3 hours worth of footage because whenever I talk about a product, I just keep going on and on and on, and I'm like, okay, they get it, you love it, move on. So I think those are pretty much all of the eye products. I think we can finally move into the face. So let's talk about primers really quick. So my absolute favorite mattifying primer for sure that I use this year is the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil and Shine Control Primer. I first discovered this back in August, I wanna say, and ever since then, this has definitely become my holy grail mattifying primer. It mattifies without drying my skin out, so I can use this in the winter time and it's not gonna like flake or anything. Makes my makeup last all day, and I can always count on this to keep my makeup lasting all day without me having to worry about touch-ups throughout the day. Like I'll just do my makeup and I know that I'm good for like the rest of the day, like 8+ hours. So it truly is a great primer. I love this for my forehead, my T-zone. It's amazing, and you only need a little bit, even though sometimes I use more than what you need. It's so good, and my products just go on very smoothly over top. So I really like this primer. Like I said, it's just a good like everyday go-to primer. And then I also really love the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I truly love this also because it is a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I just did a video on their new putty primers actually. I don't know if this is gonna go up before or after that, but that video is coming very soon. But I like this a lot. This is a little bit more thicker and like more intense on my skin, at least, than the Smashbox one. So I really like this for whenever I'm like going out, special occasion, or in the summertime, just because it is a little bit thicker, whereas Smashbox one is a little bit more lightweight. So that's why it's perfect for every day. I know a lot of people can use this for every day though. I just found myself to really gravitate more towards this in the summertime than anything, just because in the winter I get certain little dry patches on my face where I feel like this is just a little too thick of a formula for me to use it all the time. But like, I absolutely love the way that it does look. I did actually use it today, and I just made sure I used a little bit of a thicker moisturizer beforehand, and it looks really good. I feel like my skin looks so porcelain. What I really like about both of these is that if you use one or the other, you don't have to mix this in with another primer because it smooths out your skin, mattifies, fills in your pores, and makes your makeup last. So you don't have to like mix and match. You kind of just use the primer water, use one of these, and you're good to go. You don't have to like use 2 other primers with it because it kind of, each of them, they do everything that you need in a primer. So I love both of these. Then I had to mention my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Primer. This is like one of my go-tos in the winter time, especially now. Of course, it's winter, duh. But I love this so much because it makes your skin look so plump and pretty and hydrated. And then when you put your makeup on, it goes on like butter. It's so nice, and it does make your makeup last all day, which is what I really love because, I mean, who doesn't want that? But it feels like a skincare product, but it actually gives you the benefits of a primer, which is like my favorite thing. The formula is amazing. It's like a gel, and it's so soft. I love it. Now, this does not fill in your pores or anything. It's really just meant to make your makeup last. So you might have to use something a little different. Like sometimes I'll use this all over my face, and then I'll use the Smashbox one like right in this area right here if I want a little extra hydration, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is a great hydrating primer. Dry skin people, you gotta get this because it's so good. I have combo skin and I really like it. So with my combo skin, that's why I like to use a mixture of hydrating and mattifying products because I feel like it just truly works the best with my skin. And then for setting sprays, I have two that I wanna mention. So first, my Milani Make It Last setting spray. How can I not talk about this? Like, I use this all the time. This is like that go-to setting spray that I know is always gonna make my makeup last all day, and it just truly does lock everything into place. So I really like their dewy version. It really is like a dewy setting spray, and then the matte one does keep me matte a little bit longer, but the original is great because it doesn't make me too dewy, it doesn't make me matte, it's just gonna make a makeup last all day. So it's great. I've gone through so many bottles of this because it truly is an amazing setting spray. And the way that it sprays out is perfect. I also really like the smell of it, and I think I'm going on 3 years of using this, and it truly is like the best setting spray that I've ever used, drugstore and high-end. And then I love me a good dew, so I had to talk about the e.l.f. Glow Plus Dewy Mist, which looks like this. So this will make your makeup last, but it's gonna give you that dewy effect, which I like sometimes now, especially now that my skin is so dry, if I want a little extra boost. So whenever I wanna be a little extra glowy, this is the one that I go to. It's kind of like a milky formula, but it just makes your makeup look so pretty and fresh. So I like setting sprays like this whenever I'm using maybe a more thicker matte foundation, just because I like to kind of balance out the matte and the dewiness, like I mentioned, with my combo skin. So this is perfect. And the spritzer on this one too is really, really nice. It smells like coconuts, so it's very calming. It just reminds me of the beach, and I love e.l.f. setting sprays. Okay, for foundation, I decided to just narrow it down to one, the one that I've been using the most, the one that I feel like gives me everything that I want in a foundation, and that is the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. Not only is this foundation so affordable, but the shade range is amazing. The finish is beautiful. The coverage is great. I love the packaging. I love everything about the foundation. It's so good. I'm in the shade Medium Olive, matches me perfectly, and I love it. I feel like I could use this for a very minimal makeup look or something a little bit more dramatic. It really gives me that natural radiant look without being too dewy. I feel like it's a little bit more dewy than Wet n Wild's new foundation that came out. Just a little bit more natural than that one because I've been really loving that one. But of course, that one is a newer favorite. I love dewy foundations, especially I feel like now this year more than ever. I just feel like it really works well with my skin, makes my skin look super healthy, but I still get that really great coverage, which I'm all about. So I love it. I'm wearing it today, and I feel like it's just probably the best foundation at the drugstore currently. It's just so good. So I think if you have a dry or oily skin, you will really enjoy it because it all comes down to your skincare and your primers on how you can make your products work. So if you have oily skin, don't be scared of using a radiant foundation. I feel like it might even sit better with your face because sometimes when you use something that's too matte, it can make you look a little cakey. But with this, it's the best. It's the best foundation ever. And then for concealer, I just have two to talk about. CoverGirl Undercover Concealer. Like, duh. This is a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. It's a little bit creamier. Actually, it's a lot creamier. It's a lot more hydrating. It gives me very minimal creasing. It's creamy, it's blendable. They have a good shade range. And this one actually for me is in the shade Golden Natural, and it's perfect. I'm in love with it. I just did a video on my favorite concealers, but that one is definitely like my top go-to everyday concealer. And I could even use it, you know, for nighttime as well because it gives me that a really amazing coverage. And then I also wanted to mention the BH Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer. So this gives me maximum coverage. It's a little bit thicker, so a little bit does go a long way. If you use too much, it's gonna be too much. I love this for my more dramatic makeup looks because it really gives me that bright, super maximum heavy duty coverage that I love. But it's such a smooth formula that if I use especially just like a little bit, it looks so flawless and airbrushed under the eyes. So I'm in love with it. So if you want maximum coverage, get this one. If you want more medium to buildable everyday concealer, get this one. They're both amazing. I think it just depends on what you're looking for. For powder, this is really no surprise. My Haley's Beauty Retouch Loose Setting Powder. I mean, like, duh, you guys knew it was coming. So good, so smooth, so airbrushed, Facetune. Instagram filter in a bottle. Like, you guys know, I've talked about this so much, and I love Haley's Beauty. They are an amazing brand. How could I not talk about this powder? Like, seriously, it's the bomb diggity. I will sometimes use this just on its own because it gives me that soft matte airbrush look. And I also really like mixing it with the collab one because, I don't know, mixing these two together also gives you this really soft airbrush look. That's what I'm wearing today. Like, I mix both of them, and I love the finish of these by themselves, and together I think they're great. So honestly, I could get rid of all my other translucent powders and just use these, and I'll be totally happy, because I honestly don't even really barely ever use any other translucent powders because these two are just that good. I feel like they're all that I need in a powder, especially the Haley's one, because it really does make my makeup last and look as smooth as possible. The collab one is great too, though. I love both of them. Don't make me choose because I can't. You just gotta get both of them because they're great. For bronzer, this was actually super easy. Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I mean, clearly you can tell by the packaging that I love this so much. It's actually like breaking on me on the edges because I'm like literally scraping this to get product out. But this one is in the shade Deep, and I love this for bronzing my chest, for just giving me that really like sun-kissed look, like I just got back from the beach, because it is a true brown bronzer. It's not orangey, it's not muddy, it's smooth, and no matter how much you use, it's always gonna blend out and look really seamless on the skin. Now, this is not completely matte, so if you want to contour, it's probably not ideal. The sheen in it is so minimal that you can't really tell. Like, I thought for the longest time that this was a matte bronzer, but when you actually really look at it, it has like that really light sheen, but still great. It's like my everyday go-to bronzer. But if you want something matte and very brown and true to color, Fenty Beauty, this is specifically their instant warmth bronzer. My perfect color is Shady Biz because it's like that perfect natural contour shade. But I also use this to bronze my face, and it's such a smooth, buttery formula. I love it, and they have so many other colors as well. You guys know Fenty has a really great shade range. It's one of my favorite things about them, that they're so inclusive, and I love the undertones and stuff that they have. And with their bronzer, this is probably one of the best high-end formulas that I have, just because it's so lightweight. Like, and you can start off gradually with a little bit of a light color, or if you build it up, you get some really beautiful bronziness to your cheeks, but it's not muddy ever, and it's super easy to blend. So truthfully, I feel like this is kind of like the butter bronzer in a way. They're both very similar, except the Fenty one has different shades and it's matte, but these definitely, they're my go-tos. I love them so much. Blush. This is hard because I love like my peachy tone blushes. I have so many palettes, but I'm like looking at them and I'm like, girl, these are all like the same. Like, honestly, truly, they're just different brands, a lot of the blushes that I have. But this is definitely the one that I felt like I used the most. This is the LA Girl Island Hottie blush palette. It just looks like this, and I just love these peachy tones so much. They're just very flattering, I feel like, with any eye look, at least in my opinion. I'm wearing it today. I just take my brush and I just swirl it in here like this, and then I'll just apply it right to the apples of my cheeks. It just gives me the most perfect wash of color without being like, you know, clown face, and I love it. I like mixing them. I also really like these two on their own because they're super natural and they're just very buttery and soft, and oh, it's just an amazing palette. It also comes with a mirror, so it's very travel friendly, and this palette is great. LA Girl is great. I love them. I also wanted to mention these BH Cosmetics Blushing in Bali palettes, and then the Glowing in Grease palette. So the Blushing in Bali is really great because the blushes in here are a little bit more pinky. So if you want something more muted versus peachy, this one is great. And then the highlighters in here, whoo, these are creamy. Like, let me just show you. Look at that. So intense. It really gives you that intense glow without being too glittery and chunky on the skin. So it's stunning. You can also use them as eyeshadows as well. Like, that is beautiful. Like, even when you touch it, I mean, like, look at my fingers. It's yeah, it's crazy. It's the real deal. Also, if you're into like the peachy kind of colors like me, they have their Glowing in Grease palette, which looks like this, and this one is clearly my favorite palette just because of these like bronzy peachy blushes. But the highlighters in here are also very pretty. Maybe this could be more ideal for like tanner, deeper skin tones, or like for spring and summertime. I think this is great. You still get that really gorgeous finish. So they're both like the same exact palettes, just like different colors in here, and you can just see like how incredible it is. So yeah, these are amazing. Next up for highlighter, I have 3 to mention, but I like them for different reasons. So the first one is the Ofra highlighter in Rodeo Drive. The reason I like this so much is just because I always end up going back to it, like no matter what. Like today I'm wearing it and it's just like such a pretty, buttery, super intense formula, but it's not very glittery and chunky, and it's so smooth on the cheeks. And then with Ofra, they have so many different shades. So this one is personally my favorite because it's like that golden bronzy color. Like, do you just see that? It's just perfect for any look, and it's just a go-to highlighter that you could use if you want something a little bit more dramatic, or if you want to tone it down for every single day, you can do that as well. I'm actually almost hitting pan on it. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but I use this a lot, and I really like this because I can use it when I'm tan, when I'm more like light like I am right now, and it's just like a perfect highlighter that honestly I could only use this for the rest of my life and be happy. But I like the other two so much though that I had to mention them, because I know not everybody likes a super intense like blinding glow. So that's why I really like the Stila one that I'm about to mention, the Heaven's Hue highlighter from Stila. This one's in the shade Brilliance. This will give you that intense glow in the most natural way possible, if that makes sense, because this feels almost like a cream eyeshadow. This is so finely milled that when you apply this, your texture does not get accentuated. You get like that really intense like glow from within, but you still see the highlighter. So it's not going to be totally natural, but when you apply it, I'm telling you, maybe if you have super textured skin, if you have very oily skin, if you have more mature skin, I think you will love this highlighter, because the formula is just like unlike anything that I have in my collection. I mean, when I first used this, I was like, oh my goodness, this formula is just so smooth. It almost feels like wet. But there's no chunky glitter, there's no powder residue. Like no matter how much you dip your brush in here, you're gonna get no powder flying everywhere. And when you apply it, it's gonna be like the smoothest formula ever. So Kokie Cosmetics actually has like a really good dupe for this that I really love. I just can't find it for some reason. It's somewhere. My room's a mess right now. And Stila highlighters are typically on sale a lot, so check it out. The formula, the way that they did this is just like unlike anything that I've ever tried or seen. Whereas, you know, any traditional highlighter like the 0 for 1 is great, but obviously if you dip your brush in here, you're gonna get powder, like that's because it's a powder highlighter. But this one, it's like, it's a powder highlighter, but like it's almost not, just because of the way that it feels. So you guys have to touch it. If you go into Ulta or Sephora, just touch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then this year for me was like the year of loose highlighters. I really typically don't go to loose highlighters all that often just because they're so messy, and I'd rather use something like this. But I love this highlighter so much that I'm willing to make a mess and use it almost every single time I've been doing my makeup. So this is the e.l.f. and Nabella collab. Now I'm pretty sure this is limited edition, which I don't like to talk about limited edition products on my channel too much, but this is just that good that if you can get your hands on it, definitely check it out. I believe it's actually on sale right now, so I want to buy like so many of these. I mean, even though I feel like this is going to last forever, it is just the most beautiful champagne highlighter, and I feel like most highlighters, when you start to apply them, they tend to like look the same, but I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Like, this is even more blinding than the Ofra highlighter, but it's in a loose highlighter form. So I know not everybody likes loose highlighters, but girl, this is gonna make your skin look like golden aluminum foil. Like, it's just intense, and a lot of different skin tones can wear this because it's not too intense. It's like the most wearable loose highlighter, because some of them tend to look like stripes on your face, but this actually does blend into the skin so flawlessly, and I just love this color. It's like that perfect like champagne, but it's not too light, it's not too dark. So like I said, a lot of different people could wear this, and it's not going to be too much. It doesn't have any like crazy undertones to it, so when you apply it to your skin, it just kind of meshes together so beautifully. So e.l.f. did a really great job with this collab. I love it. I also do like their lip product collab as well, which is amazing. So get your hands on it while you can, because I know that they're going to be gone soon. Unfortunately, I wish that they could make this permanent. e.l.f., is there any way you could do that? Like make it permanent for all of us? Because this is probably the best loose highlighter that I've ever used currently, ever. Okay, last but not least, we have some lip colors to mention. I don't have a ton, just because I did do a video on like my favorite nudes and pinks. So definitely check that out if you're interested in like a literally 30-minute video of just lip colors that are nudes and pinks. But the ones that I have are definitely the ones that I used the most this year. They're constantly in my makeup bag, in and out, and I'm using them on camera, off camera, because they really are that good. So let's start off with lip liners. The first lip liner that I have is from Colourpop. This is the Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF. This is just like that really classic pinky nude. It looks good with everything. It looks good with any lipstick, with any liquid lipstick, gloss. It really is just a true pinky nude. And the great thing about Colourpop is that they really do have so much variety on their website with everything, but especially with their lip colors, I feel like you could really find your perfect nude no matter what skin tone you are. So this one is like my perfect pinky nude, and even in the summertime when I'm a little bit tanner, it just works really well with me. So I'm in love with that color. And then another one that's kind of like a more of a newer discovery. I don't remember exactly when I discovered this, but I know it was like, I feel like towards the middle endish of 2019. This is the Alamar Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Dulce. So Dulce is a little bit more brown. It is right here. And sorry, I don't have my contacts in because I can't wear contacts a few days before LASIK. So here we are filming with no vision basically. But so Dulce is right here. And that one is a little bit more of like a brown, whereas the Colourpop one is a little bit more pink, which they might look the same, but no, they're different. Especially on the lips, you can really tell that they have like that different kind of undertone. But honestly, the formulas of both of these are very similar. The only difference is the colors, and Olimar does have some darker shades as well for my deeper, darker skin tones out there. Or if you also just want like a darker lip, these are great. So check them out. So those formulas are honestly pretty much identical. The only difference is the colors. And this is how much I love them. I have 2 backups of Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF, and then I have 4 backups of the Dulce lip liner. So I'm telling you guys, when I tell you they're my favorites, they're my favorites. You know it's real when you have backups of products. Then I wanted to mention some liquid lipsticks. I only have 2 brands just because these are truly the ones that last a long time. Great formula, great colors, great applicators, everything. So the first one is the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in the shade Fair Game. I for sure know that I talked about Smashbox in my last year's favorites video, but this color, Fair Game, is the most perfect nude pink. Like, I'm wearing it today with a gloss in the center, but whew, I love it so much. It dries instantly. It's so long wearing. The applicator is amazing because it's kind of pointed at the top, so you can really sculpt out your lips really well with this applicator, as you can see. And oh, I just love the color. There's really not much to it. It's a great formula, great color, long wearing. It doesn't fade really nasty on the lips, and it's amazing. The other liquid lipstick formula that I love is from Fenty. So these are their Stunna lip paints, and I love the colors that they have, but these 2 are definitely my favorite, and they are definitely my 2 moods. So nude and bright red. So the nude one is the shade Unbutton. This one is a little bit more peachy than the Smashbox liquid lipstick, which I really, really love because I love peachy and pink. So this is kind of like both of these colors give me the best of both worlds. So this one right here is Unbutton, and you can clearly see how peachy pinky it is, whereas the other one is definitely more cool tone and more mauve. Oh, I love the formula. This is basically honestly just like the Smashbox one. Like I said, they just both have different variety of shades. So, and then of course this Fenty one is different packaging, but the other shade that I really love from Fenty is Uncensored. This is just a really bright universal red that looks good on everyone. Every single one of you guys needs to go out and get this red. It's going to look good on everyone, no matter how light, how dark, how tan, how olive, how yellow, how pale you are. You have to get this. It is a true perfect red. So that officially is it for my 2019 beauty favorites. I want to thank you guys so much for all of the love that you have shown me in the past year and all of the years, but especially this year we have grown so much. Our community is getting bigger, and I'm so incredibly grateful for you, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I love every day and have the best job ever. So truly, thank you so much. I'm excited to keep growing, and I'm excited to see what else life has in store for me. I hope that 2020 is a great year for all of us, and let's go ahead and just manifest it. Think positive right now and put it out into the universe. But yeah, I really truly hope that you guys have an amazing year, and I hope that you get everything that you've ever wanted this year. So thank you for supporting, watching, commenting, and just being here and showing me so much love. I love you guys so much. Also, feel free to leave more video requests and things that you want to see from me in 2020, goals that you have, anything. I always love to hear from you guys. So thank you for everything. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.